My roommate came out of the shower in my robe. I think it's time we stopped pretending. The sound of running water echoed through our small apartment as I sat at the kitchen table, pretending to focus on my laptop. My roommate Emma had been in the shower for nearly 20 minutes. Not that I was counting. Okay, maybe I was. For 2 years we'd shared this apartment. 2 years of late-night conversations, shared groceries, movie marathons, and countless moments that felt suspiciously like dates, even though neither of us ever called them that. We were friends. At least that's what we kept telling ourselves. I rubbed my eyes and looked at the clock. It was almost 11. A few seconds later, the bathroom door opened. Steam drifted into the hallway. Then Emma appeared, and my brain completely stopped working. She was wearing my robe. Not hers. Mine. The oversized navy blue robe I'd bought last winter. She noticed me staring and looked down. I grabbed the wrong one. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Emma smiled. The dangerous kind of smile. The kind that always made me nervous. She walked into the kitchen, her damp hair falling over one shoulder. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah. You sure?" "Absolutely." I immediately knocked over my coffee. She laughed. I groaned. "Smooth." Emma grabbed a towel and helped clean the spill. For a brief second, our hands touched. Neither of us moved away. Then both of us stepped back at the same time. Like always. Like every single time before. And that's when I realized something. We'd become experts at pretending. Pretending those moments didn't mean anything. Pretending the tension wasn't there. Pretending we were just roommates. The problem was, I wasn't sure either of us believed it anymore. A week later, things only got worse. Or better, depending on how you looked at it. Emma and I were grocery shopping when an elderly woman approached us. She smiled warmly. "What a lovely couple." Before I could respond, Emma thanked her. Thanked her, as if the woman had said something completely normal. When the stranger walked away, I looked at Emma. "You didn't correct her." She pushed the cart forward. "Didn't seem necessary." My heart nearly exploded. "Didn't seem necessary?" "Nope." I stared. She kept walking, and somehow managed to look completely innocent. Because she knew exactly what she was doing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment from the past 2 years. Every smile, every accidental touch, every conversation that lasted until 3 in the morning. Every time she'd fallen asleep on the couch next to me. Every time she'd brought me soup when I was sick. Every time I'd wanted to tell her how I felt. And every time I'd stop myself. Because, if she didn't feel the same way, I'd lose my best friend. That risk terrified me. So I stayed quiet. And apparently, so did she. 3 days later, I came home after a long shift. The apartment was dark, except for candles. Lots of candles. I froze. "Emma?" No answer. Then I heard music, soft piano music coming from the living room. I walked inside. Emma sat on the couch, wearing a simple black dress, looking nervous. Very nervous, which was strange. Emma was never nervous. "What is this?" I asked. She took a deep breath. "An intervention." My eyes widened. "An intervention? For 2 stubborn people." I blinked. 2? "Yes." She pointed at me. "You're one of them." Then she pointed at herself, and unfortunately, I'm the other. I sat down slowly. My heart was pounding. She interrupted. "No. Let me finish, before I lose my courage." For the first time since I'd known her, her voice shook. "I've spent 2 years pretending we're just roommates." The room became very quiet. She looked down, then back at me. "I've pretended that I don't look forward to seeing you every day." My chest tightened. "I've pretended that I don't miss you when you're gone." She swallowed hard. I've pretended that hearing you laugh isn't my favorite sound. I couldn't breathe. Emma laughed nervously. And I've definitely pretended that I don't wish you'd stop looking at me like that. Like what? Like I'm the only person in the room. I stared at her. She stared back. Then she smiled sadly. So when I came out of the shower wearing your robe last week, I remembered instantly. I realized something. What? She took a deep breath and said the words that changed everything. I think it's time we stopped pretending. Silence. A long silence. The kind where everything hangs in the air. Waiting. Emma looked away, probably expecting rejection. Probably thinking she'd made a mistake. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because I couldn't believe we'd wasted 2 years. She looked confused. What? I shook my head. Do you have any idea how long I've wanted to hear that? Now it was her turn to stare. What? 2 years. Her eyes widened. Seriously? Seriously. Emma covered her face. Oh my God. I know. We're idiots. The biggest. She started laughing. Then I started laughing. And suddenly neither of us could stop. Because the tension we'd carried for years finally disappeared. A few minutes later, we sat quietly on the couch. The candles flickered around us. Finally, Emma spoke. So, what happens now? I smiled. Well, I guess we stop pretending. She smiled back. I like that plan. So do I. Then she rested her head on my shoulder. A simple gesture. But somehow it meant everything. No dramatic speeches. No grand declarations. Just peace. The kind that comes when two people finally tell the truth. 6 months later, nothing had changed. And everything had changed. We still argued over groceries. Still watched terrible movies. Still stayed up too late talking. Still shared the same apartment. But now there was honesty. No more pretending. No more hiding. No more wondering. One evening, Emma walked into the kitchen wearing that same navy blue robe. My robe. She smiled. You know, technically this belongs to me now. I laughed. Since when? Since the day it helped us figure things out. That's not how ownership works. It is in my world. I shook my head. She stepped closer. And you're stuck with me. I wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Best problem I've ever had. Emma smiled. The same smile that had always made my heart race. Neither of us had to pretend we didn't notice. The end.